Gentlemen, from the moment you're born, the odds are stacked against you. In the modern world, you are set up to fail. We've got testosterone declining. We've got men being shamed for being men. Really, let that sink in for a second. You are shamed for simply wanting to be a man and embrace masculine values. And now you're villainized for being a man. You're villainized for being what God set you on this earth to be. We're told that we're evil. We're told that we're toxically masculine. But quite frankly, I don't think that we are. I think we want to protect, we want to provide, and we want to fulfill our duty as a man. As men, we take great pride in the things that we can do for our sisters, for our mother, for our wife. The issue is the modern world makes it very, very difficult with all the traps that it lays out for us. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 worst habits that keep men weak and stuck. Now, the first one is extremely controversial, but anyway, and that is prescription drugs. You're a little kid. You have so much energy. You have so much potential inside of you. You could become so much, be so much, and you're not meant to sit in a classroom for 8 hours being static, not moving. That's not natural. That's not right. And we build all these unnatural structures. And when a kid does not want to follow that system, we label it as ADHD and then we numb them with Adderall. You're feeling slightly depressed. Don't worry. Don't face the issue head on. Don't tackle it. It's okay. Take some SSRIs and be enslaved for the rest of your life because Prownseek will fix all of your issues. Just take the pill. Don't question it. How dare you question the science? And by the way, this is coming from someone who has had an extremely difficult life. This is coming from someone who went through an extremely difficult depressive episode in the summer of 2020, to so much so to the point that I even considered deleting yourself and not thinking maybe you should do it. Once it gets scary is once you ask yourself, how am I going to do it? And here is what you can do about. Consult your most trusted advisors. Consult your most trusted masculine role models and work through it naturally. Work through it by completely cutting out alcohol, completely cutting out stimulants like caffeine, going through a process of an elimination diet, and also doing a lot of meditation, alone time, trauma work, just sitting with yourself, working through things. But the modern world will tell you that that's stupid because you could have just taken a pill, just like with sleep. If you're having a difficult time sleeping, don't bother to try to address the underlying health issues. Just take a Xanax, ladies and gentlemen. They built the jail cell and you walk straight into it. And unfortunately, the worst and saddest thing to see about this whole situation is most of the time it's not even these kids or these teenagers' fault. Most of the time, it's the fault of the parents because they do not educate themselves on what these teenagers, these kids are going through, and then they pretty much enslave their children for the rest of their life because they teach them from a young age, if you have a problem, don't worry about it. Prescription drugs will fix all of it. Ladies and gentlemen, these big pharma companies are not your friend and you must understand that. And look, I may not be a doctor, but this is just my viewpoint. I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart that you must do everything in your power, maybe not to get fully off your prescription meds, but start weaning off of it as much as humanly possible. I want you strong. I want you awake. I want you living and not being one half-dead zombie slugging their way through life. Now, the next habit that keeps men weak is porn, Instagram, and OnlyFans. And of course, porn is the most aggressive and the worst version and the worst manifestation of this problem. But then again, you look at Instagram and it's pretty much halfway there at this point. Now listen, of course, some people do use Instagram for business, but that's a very small minority. It's a very small minority that actually creates on social media and uses Instagram for business purposes. Outside of that, you need to understand that Instagram is the biggest dating app on earth. It is an endless cesspit of sexual images, but then again, at least it's nowhere near as bad as OnlyFans. At least it's nowhere near as bad as giving up your hard-earned money, simping and lining the pockets of girls that will never even acknowledge your existence. Here's the issue. Within it sounds very crass. Eating your meat, it signals to your body and your mind that you have accomplished something when quite frankly, you have not. You're not where you want to be. You didn't go to the gym that day. You didn't go out and conquer your career. You didn't do any of the things that traditionally you would have to do in order to get the reward of a sexual partner. So please, gentlemen, I understand that it's very difficult with the modern world that we live in, but stop giving away one of your most powerful life forces to just some random screen now.